Well, so another week, and I want this week to talk about managing time, because I think it's something that we all really struggle with, actually, as a busy anything, busy artist, busy whatever you're doing, busy parent. We all struggle a little bit with time, and you get to the end of the day and it's like, where's the time gone? How have I got to bedtime and I feel like I haven't done anything. And I think we all struggle with this, and it's a really I think it's goals that we set ourselves a lot of the time. Oh gosh, I need to manage my time out a little bit more, and how can I do that? So I just wanted to talk about a few little things that you can have a think about that is going to really help you with your time management. A lot of the time, procrastination comes into this, and it's procrastination that actually takes up a huge amount of the time that we actually need to be spending doing things that we really love to do, or things that we have to do. So procrastination, I think, is a thief of an awful lot of our time, particularly when it comes to art. We sit and we know that we want to draw, but we always find things that are going to kind of take its place. Washing, cleaning, shopping, you name it, we will find something to stop us from doing something that we really love. And that could be because we're starting a new piece and we're a little bit worried about starting the piece. It could be that actually we feel guilty about doing something that we really want to do, and we feel that we should get all of this stuff done before we actually sit down and start drawing. So procrastination can be a massive sort of challenge, really, when planning what you're wanting to be doing. And so a couple of things that I find really useful to do, particularly when it comes to sort of managing your time, making sure that you're getting things done as you want to get them done. Setting yourself plans and goals, which I think is incredibly important for, especially if you're running a business, but for anything really, personal goals, business goals, I think they're really important. If you've got your day set out in your diary, or a to-do list or something like that, just make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself with the things that you're supposed to be doing. It's very easy to have something that sits on your to-do list and it just stays there and it gets carried over to the next day and it gets carried over to the next day. It's usually something that you're kind of either putting off or you're not really keen on doing. Actually, those are the things that you should get done first. So anything that is being carried across on your to-do list, whether it's in your diary or, whether it's sort of written down on a to-do list or whatever, get those things that you don't want to do those first. You'll be surprised at how quickly you can do them, and you will feel so much better once they're done. If you've kind of been dreading doing a task or you've been putting it off, as soon as it's done, it's like a weight off your shoulders. It's just brilliant. The other thing that I find really useful for time management is visualization. So I use visualization in almost absolutely everything that I do. And I find it's really useful if I've got a busy day, to be able to fit everything into that day. I use visualization to kind of work out how something's going to work, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. And I will lie there in bed and I will visualize each of the different things that I need to be doing that day. It's particularly useful for things that I don't really like doing. So when it comes to packaging, I really hate packaging. I don't know why I hate packaging, but I really don't like it. And it takes me a long time to do, and I can think of 101 other things that I would far rather be doing than packaging. So what I do is I use visualization in the morning when I know I've got some packaging to do. I visualize myself doing the packaging, getting it finished. Actually, I can sort of almost see from the top of the ceiling down, looking down on me packaging the whatever I need to package, and that really helps me in actually knowing that I'm going to get it done. It doesn't feel quite as daunting when I come to do it. because I've kind of already done it. I know how it's going to work and I know what I need to do. And I've kind of set in my head exactly what's going to be happening in a certain period of time. And I find that's really, really helpful. I find that the visualization is brilliant for when you're starting a new drawing or a new painting or whatever. Because again, it sort of sets the scene. It makes it a little less daunting. It's almost as if it becomes a little bit more familiar because it's like you've already done it in your head. Visualization, if you can visualize images in your head, is an incredibly powerful tool that you can use for anything, but for time management, it's brilliant. The next tip is to make whatever it is that you're wanting to do and you find you don't have the time for, make that important. So if you get to the end of the day and you're like, oh, I've done this and I've done that and I've done the shopping, I've done the cleaning and I've worked here and I've done there and I've done this for whoever and I've walked the dogs and, oh, I haven't got any time left for my art. Oh, goodness, what a busy life I lead. And we all do really, really lead busy lives. But actually, something like art is really, really important to your and everybody's well-being. It's really important. And if you're not giving yourself time to do something that is going to make you feel good, it's going to kind of reset you, rejuvenate you. If you don't have that time for yourself, you can then become really, really bogged down with things and you can actually start to become a little bit resentful. So managing your time in a way that you can actually fit in what you want to do is really, really key. It's tricky because you have to deal with the procrastination and the, feeling guilty about doing something you love, but make the time to actually do what you want to do. Set a time that you're actually going to sit down and you're going to do what it is that you love to do. The washing can wait. The dogs, they can go out in the garden for a minute. Sit down and do something that you actually want to do and you want to get finished. And that is going to make it a much nicer place for you to be. You're going to feel, so much more relaxed about doing it. And it's about setting yourself some mini goals throughout the day. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. There's all sorts of things you can do for time management. The usual thing is procrastination, to be honest. You'll find yourself kind of going, oh, I can't possibly do that, or I'm just far too busy. But actually, half of the time we're doing things that aren't really that necessary. The other thing as well is, how often do you sit and flick through your social media and get completely lost down a rabbit hole? I mean, if you're a Twitter follower, oh my goodness, you can use hours. You can lose absolute hours on Twitter. The same on Instagram. You can end up kind of going through, or if you're a TikTok fan, you can spend hours just, sitting there laughing and whatever. And before you know it, that's sort of 2 hours down the pan. You think, oh, blimey, I need to do this. So really watch how you're spending your time on social media and make it so that it's worth spending that time on. If you're wanting to engage, if you're you've got an art business and you need to kind of be working on social media, uploading your stuff, doing some inbound and outbound engagement, that's really, really important. But make sure you've got your set time for it, and don't get pulled into that rabbit hole of kind of going, oh, watch this, watch that, watch the other, and because you can just lose so much time. The procrastination thing, I think it's really important to work out why you're procrastinating on starting something and why you end up doing something else and then don't have any time for the thing that you actually want to do, because actually there's probably a really, really good reason why you're procrastinating. It could be lack of confidence. It could be that you're actually feeling guilty about doing something. It could be that you're scared to start because you don't really know what to do. And in all of those cases, identifying what it is that's stopping you from starting is a really, really good idea, because then you can do something about it. You can make a plan and you can work out what it is that's actually stopping you from doing what you really want to do. So I guess to sum it up, procrastination is usually the thief of time. It really is. Work out what is stopping you from starting. Have a bit of a clear idea in your head as to how your day is going to go, so that you've got everything planned and in. It sounds like I'm super organised. I am super chaotic, I have to say. I am not organised in the slightest. I have everything in my diary, in my calendar. I have reminders set all of the time. I have to be very careful not to kind of get lost in social media, because that's a very easy thing to do. I also have to be very careful that I do a set task. So I'm going to do this now, so I'll do it. Rather than ping, 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 oh, text there, oh, email there, fly from one to the other. I'm having to really start to be very, very strict with myself, just to go, right, I need to get this task done, and then I can move on to the next one. I find if I'm doing something important, not to get distracted and lose time, I switch all of my devices either off or onto airplane mode. I find that really, really helps. Turn notifications off, that type of thing. Again, if you're a distracted person like me, that helps too. So make time for something that you really love to do. It's so important to do what brings you benefits. So don't allow any of the menial tasks like cleaning and shopping and everything. Yes, of course, they need to be done, but you have to make time for you too.